Hello, Cancer. Let's do your reading for the month of March. We are going to look at themes, what to avoid, what to embrace, things to evaluate. And so let's just start with like the theme for the month of March for you. What is the theme for the month of March for you? Cards are a little sticky. Let's try. What is the theme for the month of March for Cancer? I don't want to fall out. Theme for the month of March for Cancer. Theme for the month of March for Cancer. We might just have one card this. Theme for the month of March. Okay. The theme for the month of March for you, wow, is to flip your inner light switch on. This is the North Star. This is really related to your calling and like what it is that like your spirit is oriented to for, like, you know, you incarnated and oriented towards the desire of your heart and like where you really want to go and be. That's the light that's going to be flipping on. That's the light, the inner light that's going to switch on this March. So that is a very cool theme. And I can understand why Spirit only wanted the one card to come out. Let me just shut these windows because I feel like you're not going to be able to see the cards at all with the... Sorry, this isn't a better setup. Okay. Still, that's better. That's a little bit better. At some point the blinds will stop shaking and you won't. But this I understand why Spirit didn't want to have a bunch of cards come out, because this is a pretty big deal this March. You know, this is like the light of your life becoming really clear to you. And so let's look at, like, in terms of like what Spirit wants you to avoid in the month of March, as you find this true north and as this light really comes alive within you. Like, what are certain things that Spirit would want you just to be mindful of avoiding? Okay. I just wanted to be part of the mix. So there's a sense in which Spirit is saying, you know, over the last couple of months, there's been a level of having a little bit of a hard time making a decision, feeling Spirit wants you to avoid staying in a kind of depressive, submerged place. I'm almost seeing someone like, well, I'm seeing someone playing video games, or and I think Spirit's saying this is just an example. Spirit's saying, like, avoid being in a place in your mind where there's all this busyness, and it's making you feel disempowered. And so that place of sort of like avoiding grief, to the extent that like it's almost holding on to it, by dampening down on your passions and maybe not being 100% honest with yourself about what you need. Because this is an energy that has you feeling really disempowered. So Spirit wants you to avoid staying in stuck places of frenetic energy that are making you feel disempowered. And Spirit saying that that you're not disempowered, that you're incredibly powerful, and that you may have been feeling that way because there's this frenetic energy around avoiding some of the more stuck, deeper, hurt, grievous places. And Spirit would have you not be stuck with that and understand that you are way more independent and powerful than you even believe that you are, and that the stuff that has you feeling kind of stuck and indecisive and not sure which direction to move, that this, as soon as, and we'll go on to what to embrace, but you know, looking at this pattern, Spirit wants to have you break free of that and avoid feeling stuck in that space. And so in terms of what Spirit wants you to embrace this March, yeah, Spirit wants you to embrace your inner fire. Like that's so beautiful, because you're going to be feeling it. I mean, the truth of the matter is like in the past, you know, when you were feeling this level of disempowered and like there's a certain energy of depression, of sadness, almost being fixated on stuff that didn't work out to a degree where it became like an internalized, like deep belief system. And it made, there's a sense in which this had you feeling like you shouldn't even try, you shouldn't even put yourself out there. But you're going to feel yourself come alive in March, and you're going to feel a level of passion that you haven't felt in a really long time. This is the light coming on. This is the sun coming on. This is the light switch switching on. And this is you stepping into a place of feeling powerful and inspired and excited about life again. And also like the inspiration, really like being able to light your path forward. And so that's something that Spirit absolutely wants you to embrace in March, and you'll feel it. You'll feel this shift within yourself. And so Spirit wants you to avoid falling back into patterns that are like, you know, sometimes we can be, what I'm hearing is sometimes we can be addicted to feeling states that don't feel good. And it's like, well, why would that be? And it's just sort of like the brain can sort of be habitual. And when you've had a lot of disappointment, and when you've been in a space of disappointment for a really long time, or in a space of trying to like work through that, like, you know, you can very easily start to feel like stuck, you know, in those emotions. Like it can become like a stuck kind of a thing. But Spirit wants you really in the month of March to embrace this enormous change. This is like a whole new world, like of you being you, and to embrace this feeling alive, and to embrace like the sense of inspiration and passion, and like a sense of what you want to do and how you want to do it. I mean, that's what's really coming through. Spirit also wants you to understand that, you know, Spirit wants you to embrace not having to like know everything that there is to know about this new direction before you set out on it. Spirit's saying like your heart's going to glow. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel the sense of feeling alive, and you're going to feel the sense of like, I want to be in that direction. And so Spirit's like, don't overthink it. You don't need to know everything about this new direction. You don't need to draw the map, color it in, paste it to the wall, memorize it, take it down again, and then, you know, none of that. Like, you don't need all of this information to get started. Spirit wants you to be able to get comfortable knowing that this is a huge shift in perspective within yourself. This is a huge shift in perspective in your mind and the way that you're seeing the world. And this inspiration is going to take the place of a lot of aimlessness, and it's going to take the place of feeling disempowered, because this inspiration and this sense of direction is going to give you the strength of independence and really knowing your own power, and really just embrace this whole shift of worldview and shift of world. And you don't need to know every aspect of what this inspiration entails before you take a step in that direction. Spirit is saying that like it's going to be at a pace, this change is going to be at a pace that and the upright, like this is always like the wheel of fortune is turning in your favor. And I generally don't read reversals as opposites. Often I like see reversals in relation to repression or pacing. That's how Spirit sort of talks to me with these. And so what I'm being shown here is like Spirit wants you to embrace the pace and understand that it's like, because feeling alive and with direction and inspired again, and having the world shift in a way where you don't feel so closed down. Again, like, you know, and again, not being over prepared with planning, you know, there's a sense in which you might feel like this isn't moving quickly enough for you, but Spirit is saying like this pace is perfect for you. That's my cat. So Spirit is saying that's like the punctuation. Spirit is saying the pace is going to be perfect for you. It's going to be just what you need to move into this new into alignment with your life's purpose, and all of, that those goals that are aligned with your life's purpose, that inner light switch that is turning on. There's a sense in which the pacing might throw you off a little bit, but Spirit is saying, like, don't let the pacing push you back into like a place of feeling disempowered and dependent. Allow yourself to let this unfold as it will. It's not going to exceed the length of March, but it's going to happen within the month of March. And so let it take its time, but also understand that this is a world change for you. This is one world for another. How things were, it's not going to be that way, and you are definitely going to be getting an inspiration and a sense of direction that will guide you where you need to go. There's a lot here. Okay, so like in terms of what Spirit wants you to evaluate, okay, there's a lot that Spirit wants you to evaluate. You're holding on to a lot from the past, and Spirit wants you to take a look back at that and let go of some of it. I mean, there's a lot of past energies that are being held on to, that are just a burden, that have been really weighing you down. You're almost defending a position of holding on to some of this disappointment and some of this unhappiness. And it's not because you want it, it's just because you haven't been able to really figure out how to like be free of it. It's like it has weighed you down in the past, and now that the light switch is on and you're going to get this infusion of inspiration and passion, and you're going to have this direction, like Spirit doesn't want you to take the negative experiences that have colored the way you saw life previously into this new endeavor and into this life purpose passion. And so, to the extent that you carry these things and even like defend that to a certain degree. What do I mean by defend it? Our minds can return to places where we were treated unfairly, or we felt we were treated unfairly, and we can sit there and feel all of those negative emotions associated with that. And there's letting that move through you and out entails a kind of letting go and a forgiveness. Holding on to that can be defending your position of this wasn't okay. I'm like this, like it's there's a holding on that comes with defending your position, and Spirit's almost saying you don't have to defend your position. You were hurt. It wasn't okay. But you're moving into a life's purpose. You're moving into a passionate place. This is a lighter, brighter space, and this heaviness of disappointment. There's heaviness of disappointment relating to relationships. This wasn't meant to be. It wasn't what you thought it was. There's a heaviness that, this is a collective reading, so this is going to resonate for different people on different levels. But there's a heaviness to, you thought that you thought your talents were going to express in a certain way and be appreciated in a certain way, and you didn't maybe feel that you got that opportunity, or that it came and didn't like take hold. There's a sense in which like there's conflict, there's conflict with some people that, wasn't resolved, and it just got lodged, it's something that, is bothersome. And even a sense in which you feel like you have been like emotionally manipulated and hurt. So all of that, Spirit wants you to evaluate it and actually not hold on to this, not hold on to all of this stuff, because you are going to shine and be like, you are going to have your talents, you are going to be a star. Like you do have this North Star, you do have this like light switch coming on. It's just not what you expected. It's something that you didn't expect, or it expresses itself in a way that you didn't expect, or in the timing you didn't expect. The same can be said for, whatever this, unresolved conflict with a group of people might be. Spirit is saying, let it go, because they're not a part of the new. They're not a part of the plan forward. They're not part of your inspiration and your vibrancy and your radiance and your independence and your sense of command over the direction that you want to go. That conflict with those people, it's not a part of that. It's not an ingredient that you need to be looking at anymore. Let it be an unresolved thing that you just let go. Same with this individual you felt emotionally manipulated by. That individual isn't a part of this plan forward. It isn't a part of you being in your best space. And there may be a lot of disappointment over what was thought to be a twin flame connection that was not, or what was thought to be a relationship or a cause for celebration that did not come through. And Spirit is saying, like, you'll have this, just probably not with anyone that you. Spirit is saying this is probably just not. Spirit is being so clear with me for you to know that all of these things that weren't and didn't, that you're holding on to in the way of burden, Spirit's saying that in letting this stuff go and releasing it, and letting it just letting it, I'm listening, so just give me a second. Spirit says by looking at these things and letting it all go, it just propels you forward. And that's what Spirit wants for you. Spirit wants you to evaluate the ways in which these things aren't serving you. And that, you don't have to have the resolution in order to be healed and to feel better. The healing and the feeling better just comes from you, like spending time with yourself and giving yourself the attention that you need over these things and letting these emotions move through you. Because you're about to just be in a whole new world. You're about to be in a whole new world where none of that stuff even applies. I am going to keep going. My phone is dying, but hopefully it won't. So how does Spirit want you to grow in the month of March? How would Spirit have you grow in the month of March? How would Spirit have you grow in the month of March? Oh, there's kind of a lot here. This makes so much sense to me. I'm gonna grab a cord and plug this thing in. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry about the unprofessional nature of things. Until I'm better set up, these sort of readings are just kind of hanging out with me. Hopefully. Just give me 1 second to plug this in so that we have power. All right. Now, so sorry about that. So what Spirit really wants you, what Spirit wants you to let go of, is clinging to the past in any way, shape, or form, and feeling like there's a sense in which feeling like love was withheld from you, healthy friendship was withheld, things that you feel have been withheld that you needed. Again, Spirit wants you to let go of that. Spirit wants you to let go of any fear of change, because there's some change. There's definitely change. So letting go of fear of change is going to be key. Spirit says that you're going to be stepping into this place of fevered inspiration and a feeling of powerful, bright, beautiful command and direction and passion. And Spirit wants you to just be mindful to not allow this to sort of close you off in any way. You're going to have a direction that you feel really passionate about, and it's going to feel really good. But Spirit's but you don't have to be a tyrant about it in any way, because you're not going to lose it. It's not going to get away. It's not going to slip away. You're going to have this. And you're going to be able to keep it, and you're going to be able to make the most of it, and this is your true north. This light that's coming on inside of you is going to lead you. And so Spirit's let yourself be led, even with all this renewed passion and energy, allow yourself to be led. It's important that you do that. And also allow yourself to understand that this is a gift of love from the divine, that this is related to self-love, and all of that letting go that Spirit would have you do of that stuff that wasn't serving you, is about this self-love and about allowing yourself to really receive from the divine the emotional healing and sustenance that is just going to make you feel really like good and fulfilled and able to, there's a, like, instead of feeling like you're depleted, you're going to feel like you have an excess, right? And to embrace that, really truly embrace that, because that's the growth for you. The growth for you is like letting go of any feelings of like where stuff didn't come to you the way that you thought it was going to be, when stuff didn't pan out the way that you thought it was going to be, when like things were withheld, any kind of fear of change. Like, this is your growth span, like letting that stuff go. And then as you step into this amazing energy, like being able to do so in a way that isn't clutching, and trying to control the trajectory of how your passion like plays out, because it's going to be a path that's illuminated before you and not necessarily a path that you create. However, it's going to be so important for you to allow this bath of self-love and this emotional fulfillment that the divine is going to bring, in addition to that passion, to just keep hold of it. And so how would spirit, and that's like your growth is going to be in like allowing for that love from the divine and that self-love to be enough. Allowing for that to be enough, because there's more, of course there's so much more for you, but the starting place is allowing that to be, because it will feel like more than enough this month. It's going to feel good. Like, it's not, and not sort of saying, okay, I feel really passionate and I feel really inspired and I feel emotionally like awesome. And what Spirit is saying is that's the month of March. But that doesn't mean, okay, now let me go find a relationship, because relationship will come to you when you're ready, or you're in and this is a collective read. Some of you are already in a relationship. So Spirit wants you to not necessarily take this light switch and this passion and all of this like direction and this sense of self-love and turn it into a quest for a certain type of relationship, or a certain healing in a relationship, or a certain different way in a relationship, because Spirit is saying that stuff is just going to come to you naturally. As like that stuff is you're not missing out, you're not losing anything, you're not going to not have the stuff that you want and the stuff that you hope for, but this light's going to go on and you're going to have direction and passion and self-love, and Spirit wants you to give that to yourself and make sure that all of that goes to you. And the action, yeah, let me just keep, I'm going to pull up a little more from this. Yeah, that's going to be your growth span, but the action that Spirit wants you to take, I want one more card, or maybe more than one, or two. Okay. So the action that Spirit would have you take, yeah. Spirit wants you to be aware of a propensity to want to control the way people see you, and even like caring a little bit too much about the way people see you, or wonder, Spirit's like, I want you to pivot away from thinking about anything related to how people view or experience you. Because first of all, Spirit's saying you are so much fun, you are so loved. You don't need to be thinking about this. They're like, people actively want to work with you, and that's, you got the Three of Cups and the Three of Coins here. And what this is saying to me loud and clear is that there are going to be really edifying, emotionally edifying relationships, both spiritually and emotionally, and in a position of work and creativity. And so this is what the action is, to embrace this. The action is to embrace this and let go of any need to, so yes, action, embrace the edifying emotional, like these friendships that are emotionally edifying, and embrace these people who are coming into your life or in your life that want to work with you and create with you. Embrace that. Let go of and walk away from a need to be controlled how you're perceived, a need to have things, have your expectations met exactly as they need to be met, like almost like trying to control your manifestations. Like, Spirit, you're gonna manifest more than you're manifesting this beautiful, you know, these. Here's the thing: it's like you're manifesting this beautiful friendships and beautiful people to work with. But what Spirit doesn't want you to do is need it to be the 3 people that you had in mind and those other people that you wanted, and if that's not the way that it is, and like you want them to be the ones to see you in the way that is emotionally edifying, and you want them to be the ones to want to work with you in this sort, like Spirit's like, please let the divine and your higher self pick the people, and let go of clinging to like energies that maybe aren't meant to be a part of this celebrating with you and this working with you. And so that's the action to take, is like, you know, be open to these new energies that are coming in. They're amazing. And also let go of trying to control or hold on to or have the old energy somehow be involved in where you're going. And so in terms of the goal for this month, the goal for you for this month, yeah, that makes sense. Some more cards of Spirit will provide them. I mean, so far, like moving yourself out of a space of inner storms and into a space of calm creativity. I mean, that is the goal, is to really like not let this let this light coming on and you feeling alive again and having direction. Let this be, you know, a move that you make with peace, knowing that it's a move in the right direction. Let's see what else Spirit wants to tell us about goals for you in the month of March, Cancer. Letting go of feeling any kind of sense of like, yeah, that's just there. So, right, all right. Goal for the month of March for Cancer. Let this be a smooth transition into a new space. Let go of indecision related to things that you know, how do I put this, Spirit? How do I put this? I'm getting the same message over and over again. So like Spirit wants to just drive this home. Let go of feeling like any of this is going to end up in you being abandoned or hurt. That might be like, you know, and this is a collective read, and for some of you that's like a deeply held belief that is like all the way deep inside, that comes from stuff from childhood. And so Spirit wants you to like allow yourself to move into a place of like knowing your self-worth and having the ability to like see a path forward based on a level of trust and faith that the divine is in fact leading you somewhere, and that this new passion and then this feeling of inspiration is leading you somewhere, and to not try to like talk yourself out of it in any way related to holding on to like, you got to let the old stuff go. You can't really like think your way forward with this endeavor because it is so like married to your like life purpose. It is so related to what you came here to do. So thinking your way in that direction like might get you stuck again. Like I said, like Spirit doesn't want you to need to have everything mapped out in all of these different ways in order to proceed. And so that's like Spirit really wants, you know, as a major goal to like let there be a level of faith in the direction that you're being led, and understand that that's going to be, that you're going to find the justice that you've been looking for. Like when we hold on to stuff that hurts us, it's because we're looking for justice, you know? And Spirit is saying you're going to find the justice. The growth for you is learning that you're going to find the justice that you deserve in life in terms of having beautiful relationships and great projects. You're going to find that justice in this in a new place, in a place where you're meant to find it, in a place where it's going to nourish and lead you and guide you and be this like feeling of being alive and empowered and independent, all of that. That's the justice. But let spirit work out the injustice with the old energies and the old people, and let that stuff go. And that's really the goal, is learning that the justice in life comes from, you know, maybe not the places that we would have predicted that they come from. And so let's just quickly ask Spirit for some advice. And before we close, let's get some advice. Yeah. So I'm gonna also get some word cards, some advice from Spirit related to the month of March for Cancer. Advice from Spirit. Wow, okay, we got these two. I'm actually called to look at the one on. So this, on the bottom of this deck, it says, I release all fear, guilt, and anger. I am safe and I'm at peace with the process of life. That's like, Spirit is just, this is this whole message in one little card. Spirit is saying that you are in the, like, that March is a month of transformation for you. It's like leaving behind, you know, a way of being that wasn't full of inspiration and the light within. You know, you're just like, this light within is going to be turning on. And again, that's moving from one spot to another. And there's going to be a little bit of tension, because this is going to really balance you. This is going to give you a sense of grounded balance. And before, like, there's a sense of grounded balance with change, there's always just like a sense of just a little bit of unbalance. And so you're moving from this place of, you're transforming. And in this transformation, there might be, you know, just like a little bit of fear, like, you know, in terms of releasing, you know, a little bit of fear. But this is bringing your life into balance and like bringing you into a place that, you know, where you do feel like there's like fairness and you're being nourished and you're being appreciated and you're living the expression of your art and the things that you want to create. The other word cards you got from Spirit is, my future is an ideal projection of what I envision now. So, and then, I do not worry about things I cannot control. And so Spirit is saying, like, while you dream up this, you know, while you're dreaming up this future and while you're seeing this thing come alive, like, understand that it's something that's for you. It's something that is meant to be for you. And you don't have to worry about or control how this unfolds. You're going to be led, you're going to be shown. And this is what's ideal for you, your ideal future. It might have not been what you expected, but it's there. Your ideal future is waiting, and the month of March is the beginning of this huge shift within yourself, where you're finally getting that like spark of passion is ignited, and your life purpose becomes very clear to you, and there's just this huge shift. And so that's really what the month of March is going to be for you. So I hope that this resonated, and that this is a month with some good and some bad, but it's really, I don't know, I'm excited for you. This is going to be like incredible. You like the feeling, being able to feel like in command, you know, alive and passionate and inspired again. That's just going to be, it's going to feel really good. All right, Cancer, well, I will see you next month.